Hey guys, Phil here again from Clearwater Airsoft, and today we are looking at yet another VFC gas blowback. And yes, I am a bit of a VFC fanboy, and I especially like their gas blowback platforms, and that's as far as the apology goes. They're really good, so I'm going to keep buying them. Today we're looking at one of their latest releases, which is their BCM MCMR 11.5-inch gas blowback version 3 rifle. So as I've mentioned in a previous video, the version 3 basically just relates to the valve knocker assembly having steel parts to make it more durable, and it does. How well they will last for an extended period of time, I don't know, but one of the earliest VFCs that I bought probably about 9 months ago, still going very strong with all the original internals in it, and it's been used quite a bit. So I'm confident that it's a good design. There's an awful lot of other steel parts inside the BCM that you get above and beyond that. So the trigger is steel, the hammer steel, the sears are steel, disconnect steel, mag release is steel, and the bolt itself is steel. Whilst that is great, it's also a bit of a drawback as well in the UK because it's quite cold here a lot of the time. So it can, when it's definitely below 15 degrees, which it is today, make the bolt cycle a little bit more sluggishly, which is fine on semi-auto. You might even get away with a 2-round burst, but full auto, it really does sound like it's struggling, especially in cold weather. In the summer, I imagine that problem will be alleviated quite considerably. Now, as you can see, this rifle has got a few extras on it. I'm not going near the muzzle end because there's something on there that I can't show yet, but I will get around to that when I can. So I've got the PTS syndicate copies, licensed copies of the Unity flip to center magnifier mount and a polymer, which is really nice and light. There's already quite a lot of weight on this gun. Unity riser, just to bring the hollow sight up in line with the flip to center magnifier, and that combo I think works really well. The flip to center magnifier has a knurled knob on the other side for tightening it to the rail, so it's really easy to remove if you just want to run the hollow sight rather than the magnifier as well. So back to the gun, there's a lot of stuff on here. So you get BCM trigger guard, you get the BCM markings in all the right places and on the rail, a BCM stock, it has BCM charging handle, and BCM stamped on the gun everywhere that the real BCM has BCM on it, because it is a fully licensed replica with full blessing of Bravo Company Manufacturing from America. So, like all the VFCs, they've replicated the AR platform beautifully. I think everybody's fully aware of that. It's buttery smooth. It's really smooth. That probably helps because I've stripped and cleaned them all recently. But the trigger's really nice. Resets just there and then pop. This, I think, has probably got one of the lightest triggers on any of the gas rifles that I currently run. FPS wise, because they come with a restrictor currently, which I've moaned about in previous videos, so I won't go into it now, I swapped that for an MPAS, so the FPS is completely variable depending on what you need it to be, and that is nothing but a good thing. As temperature varies throughout the day, it gives you the ability to keep in the game. So I'm all for MPASs. I don't think they're as easy to adjust as people say, so it's not a case of getting past a chrono and then making your gun hot. They're quite fiddly. It's quite sensitive to adjustments, and you have to take the bolt out of the gun to do it. So it's not the work of 2 seconds really, but it's something that people need to monitor, I guess. Same with HPA, same with quick change springs. It's no different, but I still believe Airsoft's a game of honour, and the MPAS just means that you can play a lot longer. Like a typical AR, it comes apart really easily, he says, as he misses the body pin. and then you can pull the bolt out. So this bolt is much heavier than the M16 one. Apart from that, it's pretty identical. I was lucky with this one. I managed to get the gas key off without having to Dremel cuts into the screws, because I was really worried I was going to have to do that, because I took the restrictor out straight away before I'd even fired it and dropped an M-Pass in there. Again, using the Waldo Dynamics lubricant on the inside, literally just a smear. And then this one does need a bit of a fresh lube on it, but I'll use super lube on the metal to metal parts. So yeah, the difference between this and the normal bolts is that in this corner on the alloy ones there's a little insert that's steel to catch on the steel bolt catch, and because this bolt is steel, it doesn't need it obviously. So the whole thing is steel, and you can tell, and when it's cycling it definitely feels it. So if we move forward, you can see they replicated the MCMR rail, and that's as far forward as we're going to go because there's something up front I can't show you yet, but we will get to that in another video. And they've done it really well, and like a lot of the modern ARs, the MCMR utilises the guide hop system. So if you're not familiar with that, instead of having a hop adjustment here or in the chamber like a lot of gas blaybacks do, it uses the gas tube. So you have, I think it's a 3mm Allen key, and it comes with the gun, and that goes into the front of the gas tube in the gas block, and you turn it counterclockwise, I think, for more hop and clockwise for less hop. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, but it does mean it's really quick and easy to adjust the hop, and I think that's a fantastic innovation. One thing with the VFC hops is that they don't have a huge amount of adjustment though, and they can take some bedding in. So if you think your gun is wildly inaccurate, put a few hundred rounds through it. Honestly, it makes a big difference. With my M733, I had exactly that problem. It just kept going everywhere, basically, for the first 20 mags, really. And after that, it was straight as a die. So it just takes a little bit of bedding in, much like many other rifles out there. So don't lose hope, just do that. And we'll go on the range in a bit, and we'll see how this shoots. So in the box with this one, again, like the M16, you get a speed loader. Again, I've super glued the nozzle on, and you get, and I forgot to bring it today, 30 round mag, but the one with this gun is black and it has BCM branding on it. Apart from that, it's virtually identical to any other V3 AR magazine for the VFC gas blowback platform. So, just because I forgot, here's the charging handle, and it is ambidextrous, so you can function it with either both or one or the other sides.